Today I want to beat Pokemon Heartgold using only an Ursaring. Now Ursaring is a pretty unique Pokemon to use. It's a normal type which gives us very little resistances, but it's got a fantastic HP and attack stat with some good defense too. But for a bear it's really slow. It has the ability Guts also, so if we get hit from a pesky status move, we increase in power. I'll keep the rules pretty simple. Can only use an Ursaring in combat. No items in battle allowed. Held items, only a silk scarf. No healing items. No berries. Just the raw bear power. The good thing about Ursaring is what moves it can learn too. So many options. Ice type moves, rock, electric, can learn quite a decent chunk. But can we beat these games with just the bear? With that, let's begin our adventure. The start of our journey has us talking to Professor Elm, who's going to give us the Pokemon. We can choose between 3, but the only one we want is definitely the big bear. I mean, he looks like the strongest by far. What kid wouldn't choose him? We call him Baloo, because that's just the bare necessity, and you might get the reference. After leaving the professor's lab with a huge bear by our side, it's time to begin. But first we should check out our Ursaring's nature. He's a naughty nature, which is actually really good for us. It's plus attack, but minus special defense, so we're not going to be that bulky. We've also got the ability Guts too, so if somebody tries poisons us, they're in for a world of pain. Now imagine the early game is going to be pretty easy for Baloo. We have our first rival fight pretty much straight away, and it's versus a Cyndaquil. As I thought, stab scratch from Baloo is really strong, and we just 2-hit his Cyndaquil. Back at the lab, the world's worst police officer needs our help to figure out who the culprit was, and it was Shere Khan of course. However, we can't fit the whole name in, so we have to go with She-Khan. I do the mandatory trainer battle with youngster Joey, who's had a hard time recently being beat by trainers, so we just beat down on him too with an Ursaring. Sorry Joey. Sprout Tower is where we take on Elder Lee. One scratch takes out each of his Bellsprouts pretty easily. Hoot Hoot does in fact live a scratch, but it just growls us, so we take down the Elder, and now we can go for our first gym badge. Our first battle is against Falkner, who's a flying type specialist who doesn't even have a Johto bird. He has a Pidgey and a Pidgeotto that's level 13, so somebody's definitely been cheating. Our Baloo is level 12. I'm also going to try and skip as many optional battles that I can to try and keep Baloo at a reasonable level throughout the challenge. Falkner leads off with a Pidgey, and Baloo scratches him to just take the first bird instantly down. Out comes Pidgeotto, who outspeeds us and gusts us for decent damage, as our scratch attack is just doing massive damage back. Pidgeotto gusts us once more as we bring him to the red with another scratch, and now Pidgeotto roosts. Pidgeotto gusts as I go for a lay to lower his defenses, expecting the roost stall, but he just brings us low with a gust the next turn before Baloo takes down his ace Pokemon, and with that we defeat Falkner and get our first badge of the run. Let's keep the momentum going. On our journey to the next town, I skip all the trainers I can and I pick up a few items. We arrive at Azalea Town and looks like Team Rocket's back once again. After following an old man down the well who proceeds to break his back, yikes. We clear the cave of all the Team Rocket grunts pretty easily and we face their leader, Executive Proton, who's been cutting off Slowpoke tails like the criminals they are. But Baloo is level 15. His first Pokemon Zubat dies to a single scratch. Out comes Coffin. It's pretty bulky so it does tank a hit, then smogs us for a small amount of damage before we rid the well of Team Rocket and take him out. This allows us to take on our second gym leader already, Bugsy. Now I'm actually a bit worried about Bugsy. We're not a super high level, and even though Ursaring is strong, so is Cypher. Let's give Bugsy a try. Bugsy leads off with Cypher and us with Baloo. He focus energies as we lay to lower his defense. Cypher then lays at us after we bring him to below half with a scratch, and he eats his berry, healing him back over half. Then he quick attacks us, critically hitting, nearly taking us out. Bugsy then heals up Cypher as we scratch again to bring him low. Before the next turn, he quick attacks us and takes us out. This is actually really bad. I'm not sure how we can survive Cypher. Maybe it was bad luck. Let's try again. This time Cypher goes for a U-turn immediately, doing close to half to us again as we scratch Metapod. We scratch him again and then he falls. Out comes his Cypher, who then U-turns once more, putting us at 2 HP as we critical hit Kakuna and he falls too. Cypher can then just come back out once more and finish us with a U-turn. Yeah, we definitely need to level a bit. I try again now at level 19 and Cypher lays us turn 1 again and we scratch for close to half. He then goes for a focus energy, raising his critical strike chance as our next attack brings him lower and he heals once again with his berry. He then thankfully doesn't hit a critical hit quick attack and we bring him down with a scratch. Out comes Metapod, and well, he just does negative damage to us as we just hit stab scratches. Kakuna is his last Pokemon, but it's the same scenario as Metapod. He survives an attack, but can't really hurt us, even though he does snag a poison. This just allows us to take out his last Pokemon, and we get our second badge of the run. I didn't expect to hit a little bit of a brick wall already, but we are coming up to the part in the game where we can start getting really strong. First we have another showdown with Shere Khan. His leaders are ghastly, look at him trying to counter my normal type, but we've got 2 moves to hit him with, so we lick him and crit him and take him out. Not bad. His now evolved Cyndaquil also dies to a critical hit scratch. This brings out his blind Zubat, who just falls to a scratch too. Then he says he hates the weak, but buddy, it looks like you're the weak one. We now move on to the forest. We can actually learn a pretty strong move in Headbutt here, giving us a chance to flinch opponents too. It's double the power of Scratch and 80 base power, and while Ursaring is just growing and growing in strength. We then get called someone's boyfriend by an old lady, but ma'am, I'm just trying to conquer the world, I don't have time for that. And we move on to the big city Goldenrod. Here is where we can get ourselves a bike to get around the world of Johto even faster. I then realised I forgot a pretty good TM that we can grab back at the start, so I ride my bike all the way back to the cave to get ourselves a TM for Rock Tomb that would have definitely helped us with Bugsy. We can finally use an item now too, and while this item requires us to be in pain for a long time, we need a lot of coins and we can only get them by playing Voltorb Flip, and I'm pretty bad at it. It reminds me of the good old Minesweeper days on my PC. A eternity later, and we've got enough coins to buy 2 key items. One is the Silk Scarf, boosting normal type moves through the roof. The other is Swords Dance, raising our attack by 2 stages. However, I won't be learning this TM unless I really think we need it. With the Silk Scarf in hand, it's time to face our 3rd gym leader, Whitney. For some teams, she can be a pain, in Nuzlocke too with her Miltank. How will Blue fare? Whitney leads off with Clefairy and we send out Blue, and with our level advantage here being a tad bit higher, Silk Scarf and Clefairy get sent out of existence. This brings out her Ace Miltank, who's faster than us and stomps us for tiny damage as our Headbutt does massive damage back to her. We then take another weak stomp and take down Miltank, beating Whitney. She's crying because we stomped her so hard, but she does in fact give us a badge in the end, putting us at a total of 3. On our way to Ecruteak City, no trainer can stand in mine and Blue's way. We just decimate everything. We enter the studio to see Team Rocket spinning around in circles like a madman, so we quickly dispose of this grunt as his coughing is so weak. Poor guy just wanted to be a dancer. This gives us Surf, open up Johto more to us. We then enter the Burn Tower to see 3 legendary Pokemon just chilling on the basement floor. Guess they're so powerful they're not scared of people catching them, but our rival's here. I'm pretty sure he needs them all right now. It's time for another showdown with Shere Khan. His lead is still ghastly, and Blue makes short work of the Ghost type. He's now also got a Magnemite in his team too, and even though it resists Headbutt, he falls as well. This brings out Quilava, but we've now got a Rock move in Rock Tomb, so he stands no chance. Finally, his Zubat, who also just gets destroyed by a Rock Tomb. Beating our rival lets us set the legendary Pokemon free like the good trainer we are, and they scatter, meaning there's only one thing left in Ecruteak to do, and that's take on the gym. Morty is a Ghost Gym leader, which usually would be a problem for a normal type, Blue, but we have a Dark move, so I'm not worried at all. We also learn a very strong move in Slash, fighting the trainers, and this is an 80 base power move with a high critical strike chance, so this will probably last us most of this run. Morty's lead is Ghastly, which we take out with a single feint attack. Then is Haunter, who falls to a feint attack too. This brings out a level 25 Gengar, who just mean looks us, which we're not switching anyway, so we feint attack him to a Sliver. He then eats his berry, misses a Hypnosis, and falls to a feint attack. Morty's last Pokemon is a Haunter, who then just thinks, screw this, I've had enough, and curses us, taking out half of his HP before we take him down with an attack, beating Morty easily and getting our 4th gym badge. With half of the gym badges of Johto down, we can sort of choose where we want to go now, but I like to go in order. So our next stop will be Olivine City, a coastal town and where a gym leader resides, but we can't challenge her until we have saved this poor sick Ampharos at the top of the light tower. So we sail to the small town of Cianwood City. Here we can pick up the medicine for the really sick Ampharos, but most importantly, we can take on another gym leader. This gym leader Chuck has got 2 Pokemon. They're both fighting types, although their gimmick is Focus Punch, which hopefully we never let them get off. Let's give Chuck a try. Chuck's lead is a fighting type Primeape, who Blue is staring down. Primeape double teams, raising his evasion, but Blue sees right through this and slashes him and takes him out, leaving him with just a Poliwrath left. We slash Poliwrath as he heals himself with his Citrus Berry before hitting us with a pretty weak Body Slam. A final critical hit slash from Blue, and we're absolutely tearing through these Johto gym leaders. Beating Chuck gives us badge number 5, but our next gym leader may pose a problem. So after taking the potion back to the weakened Ampharos and healing it, Jasmine is now available available to fight straight away at her gym. The issue is she's a steel type gym leader, which Ursaring can't really hurt. So Jasmine leads off with a Magnemite, and that's not too bad, right? We slash him for really good damage considering, and well, he Thunder Waves us, which is even better at activating Guts. Then we take a Thunderbolt and take him out with a slash. Magnemite 2 comes out and Thunderbolts us to low HP before a Gut slash takes him down too, leaving her ace Steelix. This is a problem. We're slower than Steelix and he just takes us out of a 9-tail crit. I'll try that again. Nope, not happening. No matter what I do, we cannot take down Steelix. So I go all the way back to the national park, and here we can grab the TM for Dig, a ground type move that surely will help us, right? So we dig the first Magnemite, and he falls in one move. We dig the second Magnemite, and he falls too. Back on Steelix. We dig underground and Steelix misses his Screech. He sets up the Sandstorm for chip damage on us as our dig the next turn does good damage back. We dig once more, putting him low and activating his berry as he starts Iron Tailing us. All we can keep doing is dig, but Jasmine has Hyper Potions, so once again we lose the fight. We need to be a bit higher of a level, I think. There's just no other way right now. It takes us all the way to level 38 and multiple attempts later until we eventually get this run. Both Magnemites are never an issue, so we're back on Steelix at full HP. We dig underground and he sets up the sand once more. We then inflict a third of his HP to him as Screech destroys our defense. We dig once more, putting him very low and activating his berry, healing him as an Iron Tail nearly takes us out. But thanks to the berry healing him, Jasmine won't heal Steelix and we can finally take him down with a dig, beating Jasmine and giving us our 6th gym badge already. Another tough test for Baloo the bear, but we persevered. Let's keep the journey going. Now we've got some Team Rocket stuff to do before we can continue with the gyms. First we get robbed. A 10-year-old child gets robbed of $1,000. They have no shame. Then we encounter a super rare red Gyarados on the Lake of Rage, which we can't catch and we've got to take it out. And it hurts me to take out a shiny, even if it is a static one. Deep in the Rocket hideout, we've got a couple of battles, but Baloo being level 40 at this point means we just decimate every trainer in our way. Me and Lance are just way too powerful for these small-time Team Rocket wannabes, and we take down their operation with not many battles too noticeable to even recap. We just sweep them. This leads us up to badge number 7 and the cold ice-type gym leader our bear must face. But bears like to hibernate in the cold. Baloo's not going to be doing that though. Pryce is the gym leader and his lead is a seal, as we lead Baloo. We take the seal out in one single slash, and out comes Piloswine. We bring him to the red with a slash as he goes for hail. Then he eats his berry, healing him a little bit, but it's in vain as a slash just takes him out. Last but not least is Dugong. We just slash him for massive damage as he survives and hits an Aurora Beam to bring us close to half. Pryce heals up Dugong, but it's in massive vain as our Baloo is just too powerful and he can't out heal the damage we are inflicting. A final slash from our claws takes him down, giving us our 7th gym badge and only one badge left to claim in Johto. We're back in Goldenrod for the time being and Team Rocket have took over the city. We dress up as a Team Rocket to get into the place, and I'd rather keep this outfit because it's pretty cool, but we don't get to. Everything here is also a breeze for Baloo, so let's just jump to the next rival fight. Shere Khan leads off with Golbat and our Baloo still has a big level advantage, so we're just one-shotting all of his Pokemon. Even though I've skipped every possible trainer I can, right now first form Pokemon really don't stand a chance against the might of Ursaring, and it's a pretty easy victory once more for us over our rival. I presume things are going to get a bit harder soon with the Elite Four and Champion coming up, but early game has just been a massive breeze. The Team Rocket arc ends with a fight against Archer, and I'm a little too confident. We go into the battle with half HP. We take down his first Pokemon Houndour with one move, and second out is Coffin. We slash him for a one-hit KO too, but finally is Houndoom, who's faster than us, and a Fire Fang does put us pretty low, but a single dig takes out my favourite Pokemon. With that, we've defeated Team Rocket, and we get the Rainbow Wing for later on. This leaves one last thing to do, and one last gym badge to get. We head through the Ice Cave and arrive at Blackthorn City, home of the Dragon Gym, and their leader Clair. I wonder if Baloo's slashes are still going to hold up versus Dragon-type Pokemon. Clair's lead is the Gyarados, instantly intimidating us, lowering our attack, as I misclick Dig. Bad start. We then take a Dragon Rage as we start to slash, but as Gyarados falls, we're already at half. Dragonair then dies to a single slash, and out is Kingdra, who smoke screens us, lowering our accuracy as a slash brings him to below half, activating his berry, healing him. He then fires off a huge Hydro Pump, bringing us to 27 HP as our slash brings him to the red. Clair heals up Kingdra the following turn as we luckily critically hit a slash to take him down. That was RNG in our favour, or we certainly fell to Kingdra. Her last Pokemon is a Dragonair, and a single slash takes her down, and we win first try, thanks to RNG. We played bad but got rewarded, but let's not talk about that. Claire doesn't want to give us the badge, so we've got to go and persuade some old dude we're a good person, before she hands over the final badge for Johto, And now we have 8. It's time to head to Victory Road. After being lost in Victory Road for quite a while, it's been a minute since I last played these games, we arrive at the Indigo Plateau, ready for Ursaring's true test. As we make our way through Victory Road and are about to come out on the other side, we have our last battle with our rival Shere Khan. Let's defeat this crook once and for all. A single earthquake takes down Sneasel. Out next is Golbat, which a slash takes really good care of. Then his ace and starter Typhlosion, and a shake of the earth sends him to the ground too. Kadabra falls to its single Shadow Claw, and then his Magneton, who also dies to an earthquake, leaving his last Pokemon Haunter, and a Shadow Claw takes him down for a last and easy rival sweep, showcasing Blue's power. And now it's time for the Elite Four. Here is Blue's stats. Level 55 with a fantastic attack stat, but low special defense and speed. Can we become champion of Johto? Let's find out. First up in the Elite Four is Will, the Psychic type Elite Four. We've still got a little bit of a level advantage here, so let's destroy this league. Will leads with Xatu, and we have Shadow Claw, so this may be an easy first fight. We take Xatu down with a single Shadow Claw. His second Pokemon is Jinx. We outspeed and Shadow Claw Jinx for a one-hit KO too. Third is Executor, but the three-headed eggplant can't survive our bear and falls. Fourth is Slowbro. It's bulky, so survives an attack from Blue before setting up a curse, raising his attack and defense. Will uses a full restore, but we're still doing over half, so 2 more hits and down Slowbro goes, leaving his last Pokemon another Xatu. He falls to our bear's claws, giving us our first Elite Four victory. The second Elite Four member standing in our way is Koga, a poison type specialist. Although we've got Earthquake, a great counter to his Pokemon, let's do it. Koga leads off with an Ariados, and Blue doesn't care about spiders and slashes him to take him down. Second, Koga sends out Forretress. It protects, stalling us out as we Earthquake for half the next turn, or taking a pathetic Swift. A final Earthquake and he falls. Third is Muck. A single Earthquake brings him down too. Fourth is Crobat, who sets up a double team, but Blue sees right through his shenanigans and hits a slash to bring him low as he eats his berry. He then sets up another double team, but Blue is unfazed and brings him down. Finally is Venomoth, who's super frail and falls to a slash too. So far so good, let's keep this momentum going. Third is Bruno, the fighting type Elite Four member, and he could be an issue, but Blue is very strong right now, so if we can one-hit KO his team, we're in luck. Bruno's lead is a Hitmontop and Blue is ready to go. We slash Hitmontop and his first Pokemon goes down. Second is Hitmonlee, and we critical hit him with a slash too. Third is Machamp. It lives a slash from Blue on just a sliver of HP, eats his citrus berry, and then a single cross chop nearly takes us out. But we are faster, so we bring him down the following turn. Onyx comes out and is super frail, so he falls to an Earthquake, leaving just a Hitmonchan left. Luckily our slash does bring him down in one move, defeating Bruno and leaving one Elite Four remaining. But you can still see how much damage Blue takes if Pokemon can get off a hit on him. Last but not least is Karen, the Dark type Elite Four member. She's our last obstacle before we can challenge the champion. Karen's lead is Umbreon as we slash him to bring him low, as a weak feint attack does nothing to us. Karen then heals Umbreon as we just bring him back down with a slash. Karen then doubles into Gengar, so he takes 0 damage for us. Then he hits a Focus Blast, nearly taking out Blue, as we reply with a Shadow Claw to bring Gengar down. But this just brings out Houndoom, who comes out, hits a Flamethrower, puts us on 2 HP, and we take him out with an Earthquake. Vileplume then comes out and kills us with a Petal Dance, and we fall. I'm not sure what to do here. We've got a pretty good moveset and we're at a very high level, but even that isn't enough as we can't take hits. Let's try it again. So we're now level 60 on our next attempt. Our slash critical hits and brings down Umbreon. Gengar then decides to spite us rather than attack, so we bring it down with Shadow Claw. We are now also faster than Houndoom, and an Earthquake brings down the Hound. The same thing for Vileplume, although it does live in Earthquake and paralyzes us, activating Guts. So on Karen's full restore, we bring down Vileplume with a Guts boosted Earthquake. Last is a Murkrow, but his pluck is pretty pathetic. And Ursaring connects a slash to bring down Karen's last Pokemon, defeating the Elite Four, and now we can face the champion. The champion Lance with Dragon and Flying type Pokemon. Let's see if we can become champion ourselves. Lance's lead is Gyarados, who intimidates us, lowering our attack as we're paralyzed still, giving us Guts. He hits a Waterfall for good damage as we reply with a massive slash to bring him low. Lance full restores, but we bring him back down. We then take a Waterfall to close to half before we take down his first Pokemon. Out comes his ace to level 50 Dragonite, and he immediately outrages us to a sliver of HP as our slash doesn't even take him out. This means Baloo just falls the next turn to an outrage. I'm going to try this again but not paralyzed, as that did not go as I thought. So level 61 and we outspeed Gyarados and bring it down now with just 2 slashes. His level 59 Dragonite, we critical hit and take that down too. His level 49 Dragonite nearly takes half and then paralyzes us once again, activating Guts. We then get Dragon Rush before bringing him down with a slash. His last Dragonite misses a Dragon Rush as we slash him for big damage, but then we just get Dragon Rush para-hacks to death and we die. This is pretty rough, I must say. I decide rather than brute force this with levels, it's time to learn the TM for Swords Dance, a move that will raise our attack by 2 stages, allowing us to brute force him with damage rather than levels. Let's do it. At level 62, Lance leads off with Gyarados and Blue is ready. We Swords Dance, negating the Intimidate as we take a weak Waterfall. We then slash for the 1-hit KO. Second is still his ace to level 50 Dragonite, and it survives a boosted slash on 1 HP and hits an outrage for massive damage, but then we do take him out the next attack. His level 49 Dragonite stands no chance and falls too. Then his last Dragonite meets the exact same fate as the previous ones and falls. Out comes Charizard, and there's no way he can survive. A slash with a Silk Scarf and a boost sends him packing. This just leaves an Aerodactyl left. He outspeeds us and rock slides us to a sliver of health. Our slash puts him on 1 HP too. Lance full restores up his Aerodactyl as we slash, bringing him lower again. Lance burns yet another full restore as I opt to go for a Shadow Claw instead, and with that we bring down Aerodactyl, beating Lance and becoming champion of Johto with just an Ursaring. And what a powerhouse he was to do this run with. I'm glad you guys suggested him, as this was a fun but easy run. But it's not over yet. There's still Kanto and a final boss battle that awaits. So in Kanto we've got another 8 badges to collect. Our first one in Kanto is Lieutenant Surge, and he actually gave me a problem due to his Pokemon just spamming double team and Baloo being paralysed. We actually lost a couple of times here. Eventually though, we do get a run where we beat him from just spamming Earthquake. After this, the rest of Kanto was also a breeze as Baloo is at a high level, so let's just jump straight to Baloo. Okay, Blue's team is pretty diverse, and actually he's a bit of a problem. While Baloo can tear through the underleveled Kanto gym leaders, Blue is at a bit of a higher level with some tanky Pokemon. There's a couple of more problems here. First is his Rhydon, and by the time we get to it we've took some damage. Even with Guts we can't take him out, and we just die to burn damage and passive damage. This is only even possible to get that far if Exeggutor dies. If he survives, he sets up a Trick Room, puts us to sleep, and whittles us down with Leaf Storms. I tried this fight many times, but we just kept losing. The only way we can do this is leveling up a little bit. So at level 75, we can finally one-shot Exeggutor with his Shadow Claw. A good start. Second is Machamp, who falls to a slash. Third is Arcanine, who reduces our attack stat with Intimidate, so I set up a Swords Dance as we tank a Flare Blitz. Then we go for the killing blow, Earthquake, to bring him down. Rhydon comes out, and an Earthquake now brings him down too. Gyarados comes out, but intimidates us, lowering our attack, but we land a critical hit slash to bring him down. And his ace, last Pokemon, is Pidgeot. Now I've got a level 1 Zigzagoon as my HM buddy, and Pidgeot actually whirlwinds us into him, so I just let him die. I go back into Ursaring, who is healthy enough to have lived any of his attacks, and I bring him down with a slash, defeating Johto and Kanto's gym leaders for a total of 16 badges. Only one final battle remains. On top of the Snowy Mount Silver is Legendary Trainer Red, our final battle. Can Ursaring defeat these games? Let's find out. Yep, not happening at our level. I don't even know why I tried. Pikachu just destroys us with Volt Tackle and we die. Let's level up to a better level and give it a serious shot. We're now level 88, and while we can take down Pikachu, we just die to Blastoise using 100% accuracy Blizzard. Yikes. Level 90. We still take over half from Pikachu, and then we take it down. And we still can't kill Blastoise, and we die again. This is practically impossible until we can outspeed Pikachu. We're way too frail, and he's just going to keep taking off half of our HP. We need to be at a higher level. I level all the way to 95, hoping this is enough to beat Red, and we don't have to be level 100. We finally outspeed Pikachu and can bring him down with his Silk Scarf boosted slash. Second is Blastoise. We outspeed him now too, and luckily we dodge a Focus Blast, and a slash doesn't take him out. On the full restore, I go for Broke and I go for a Swords Dance, raising our attack to scary levels. Then we one-shot him with a slash. Out comes Venusaur, and we Earthquake to bring down the Grass and Poison starter. Then is Charizard. A +2 slash is way too strong for him, and he falls. 5th is Lapras. It's bulky but not bulky enough, and Ursaring takes down the transport Pokemon too, leaving him with just a Snorlax left. It's super strong but blue, critical hits, a +2 Silk Scarf boosted Stab Slash to bring him down, defeating Red as he disappears and beating Pokemon Heartgold with only an Ursaring. Now this was a fun solo run to do, although Ursaring is way stronger than I originally thought he would be. If you like solo Pokemon content, let me know by liking the video. Subscribe if you're new. Any ideas on who you want to see next, leave them in the comments below too. As always, I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you in the next one.